more money. Hey guys, in this video, we're going to talk about a new tax incentive program that was just passed. And this is in addition to a lot of the other ones that we have already talked about. So we've talked about some other bills and acts and things like that that are making its way through Congress. So this is in addition to all that. So this is going to be called the Inflation Reduction Act. It was passed on August 12th by the U.S. House of Representatives, and this article does not go through it, but I believe it was passed by President Joe Biden. So during the making of this video, we've talked about several other acts and bills and some of the efficiencies and things like that. The main thing I wanted to go through with this video is talk about this new act because it affects homeowners differently than it does some of the other parts of the industry, such as home builders or commercial buildings. The estimated $737 billion measure salvaged from the remnants of the 2021's Build Back Better plan had been considered all but dead and as recently as July, but late revisions and agreement among Democratic senators led to its passage in the Senate in early August by a party line of 51 to 50 vote, with the Vice President Kamala Harris breaking the tie. The three types of incentives named for their respective sections in the tax code apply to a broad range of energy efficiency measures, including installing certain HVAC equipment and certain building components. Following are some of those highlights and incentives. So I'm not going to go through everything in this video. I just want to do a real quick video in comparison to a lot of this other to try to maybe clear up a little bit of confusion. But I do want to say, because I've talked to one of my suppliers regarding this new act, the main thing that we were talking about and that you need to know as a homeowner is you need to talk to your local tax representative. I don't even know that talking to your local heating and air pro is the best thing to do regarding this. And the other thing I'll say is this isn't life-changing. This isn't the biggest rebate or tax incentive that I have seen compared to some of the other ones we've seen in the past. And so maybe it's big overall, but as far as in the grand scheme of things, when you're buying a heating and air system, as far as what I can tell from reading this article, it says the credit subtracted directly from a homeowner's tax liability amounts to 30% of the cost of the improvements with an annual limit of $1,200, up to $600 for qualified HVAC equipment, and then it goes on to talk about $600 for building components, $500 for exterior doors, etc., etc. So the bottom line is the $600 is what we're talking about here for heating and air equipment. It says, notwithstanding the limit, the homeowner who has a qualified heat pump, water heater, or biomass-fueled stove or boiler installed can take a credit up to $2,000. So I was mistaken. So it's not just $600. We're up to $2,000 here, depending on whether or not that it actually applies. So that's actually huge. So when you're considering, your good, better, best options from your heating and air contractor, that $2,000 could go a long way and possibly going from a less efficient system to whatever meets these qualifications. So we're not going to dive into all that in this video. And part of that reason is not just because I don't have all the information right here in front of me, but also things change. What if they run out of money and here you've gone and installed the system thinking that you're going to get this tax credit or something like that? I don't know. The bottom line is check with your local CPA, whoever is your tax expert, but I wanted you to know about it. This is in addition to some of the other things we've already talked about. So some of the acts or bills that were making their way through Congress, this one is in addition to that. This could really help you out. Did want to end with letting you know that homeowners can also get a credit up to $150 for a qualified home energy audit. So if you have somebody that knows how to do that and can go through your home, do an audit, sometimes the savings alone for some of that sort of stuff can be significant and be well worth it in the end. All that said, check with your local tax expert, your CPA. Make sure your project meets specific energy efficiency standards and tax deductions. Make sure you're doing everything right. And then lastly, I will say this based on previous bills and acts and things like that dealing with these types of things with CPAs and such, and that is make sure your contractor gets you the AHRI certificate. I would not even let them install it until they put that AHRI certificate in your hand, because that will play a big role in this as well. So make sure it's, got the certificate, make sure it meets all those requirements before you go down this rabbit hole, because I have heard horror stories when it comes to that. So anyway, I hope that helps. Again, it's the Inflation Reduction Act. I'm going to put a link to it down below in the description So in case you want to click on that and get all the information, you'll be able to do that. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.